Yo, take two. I recorded this earlier, so what's up, homies of the interwebs? This is Lugnuts.Guapo, and I'm hanging out over here at Longhorn Harley Davidson, who provided this motorcycle. So they'll hook you up if you are ready to jump into something like this. Yes. Moving on, we are talking about the 2019 RoadGlide special. I've done a review in the past, yes, I know, but this is on my channel, so it might be a little different. And of course, it's a year after the fact, so roll that intro, please. So here we are, 114 stock on a RoadGlide special. We all know it wasn't stock on the previous model, of course the special lineup as opposed to the standard, and of course there's things here and there that we will talk about that will differentiate the standard from the special. And is it worth it, you know, that price difference? So let's see it. Roll the tape. So they're doing this a second time because that little bugger, oh man, I need to replace this thing. I need another GoPro because this is my buddy's actually, and today it's working. This one has only failed me once. The other one that I usually have, the GoPro Session 4, has taken a dump. Okay, I'm gonna go this way so this lady doesn't run me over in reverse. So 2019 RoadGlide special, of course we all know, stock with a 6-speed transmission, which 6-speed has been a thing for a long time. This is a Milwaukee 8 motor, which has been, I think it's the third year out, and of course as stock first year as a 114 on a special. Now what is the biggest difference between the 107 and the 114 from factory is stroked flywheels. Yes sir. Stroke flywheels themselves are not incredibly expensive, but the labor, oh no, don't do this to me. Oh, for a second I thought I heard some beeping noises. I was like, no! Anyway, stroke flywheels, the part itself is not expensive. The labor to put that in, very expensive, because you're basically splitting the cases to put that in. Now, you can achieve a 114 with a stage 3, you know, with, you know, jugs and pistons and all those other things, which is nice. But imagine if you did a stage 3. What is this dude doing? Oh, she's on her phone. Of course. Public service announcement. Get off your phone if you're driving. There's no need. As I was saying, jugs, pistons on stage 3. Imagine if you can just get a 114 and then do a stage 3. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, definitely puts you in a better position for more performance and all of the above. But yes, 114, that in itself, just if you did a stage 3, or you know, get the flywheels and then put all the labor in it, you're still like right there. You're almost $3 grand in, which is about the price difference between this and a standard. So I mean, do as you want. If you want chrome, then you can always chrome the motor out. That's not a big deal, because if you're gonna buy a standard and then black it out, then same difference. So one of the things that I like about the RoadGlide so much is not only that it looks fantastic, but it is a frame mounted fairing. If this term is new to you, well, let me explain. So anything with a batwing frame, be a street glide, ultra limited, or you know, an electric glide standard, which what I own, I would rather have a RoadGlide, but you know, that electric glide standard could not beat that price. But being that it's frame mounted, it's 35 pounds give or take on that fairing that is not on your suspension and it's not on your steering. So when you're on the highway and that wind is hitting you, big gust of wind, guess where you're not feeling it is your arms. No, it's not a massive difference. It's not like this should be more expensive because it just for that reason. No, I mean it is noticeable. Some people don't notice it, but some people do. I'd most definitely notice it. It is enough for me to notice, enough to bother me, especially on a long ride. So for touring, I would always 100% suggest this baby right here, RoadGlide. So let's see, I want to get run over. So with the RoadGlide, what are you getting special? Of course, as opposed to standard, you're getting ABS, this awesome infotainment system. I mean, absolutely awesome. This is what the Harley should have come out with earlier. I didn't really care for the last model. The GPS on it is actually pretty good compared to the last one, and the screen is so sensitive, especially for someone that's riding a motorcycle, man. You're wearing gloves all the time, and well, not everybody, but a lot of people do, and that was my big complaint with the other one, and this one has basically taken care of it. There's a lot more to the infotainment system, man. You should do a whole episode, or maybe I should do a whole episode on that. It is pretty fantastic. One of my biggest complaints about basically any bagger, and of course this counts, is the rear suspension. Not the biggest fan. Now, stock, it's not terrible. Honestly, it really isn't like the worst thing in the world. But once you get used to, like, you know, like I don't know, Legend suspension, which is what I have on my bagger, Olin suspension, and Progressive. A lot of people love Progressive. I think Progressive makes awesome stuff. I have Progressive on my Dyna. It makes a massive difference. RoadGlide, in essence, in my opinion, slight edge over the street glide for touring, especially if you're on the highway. You don't have that extra weight, and the parking lot is actually really nice. It just feels lighter. It might not be, but it definitely gives you that sensation. The one thing that I would give the street glide, anything with a Batwing fairing over this, is that it kind of instills a little bit of more confidence because the whole fairing is moving in the direction that you want to go, and so it just, most people feel confident riding around twisties on a street glide rather than a RoadGlide. But the truth is once you ride a RoadGlide and not long enough, it really doesn't change much. You have the same confidence. It just takes some getting used to. So I know that firsthand now. I heard a lot of people talking about it. I never quite, you know, thought anything of it, but that's because I rode RoadGlides a lot when I was doing so. So once I got that electric glide standard, I rarely rode a RoadGlide, and it took me a couple seconds every time. It's like, oh, wait a second, like I can actually like throw this into a curve, and it doesn't matter, the fairing doesn't move. So I mean, it wasn't like a big deal, but mentally I did like notice that. So take it as you will. The RoadGlide, I absolutely huge fan. I loved it when it was the old fairing. I love it with the new fairing. So anyways, guys, that in conclusion, I think the RoadGlide Special is a fantastic motorcycle. The extra $3,000 that they asked for going from a standard to a special, I personally think it's financially makes sense. That's what they're asking. As if anything, I know that like a lot of people are going to complain. I've heard this before. It's like, well, from production it probably cost them a lot less money to go either chrome or black. Yes, but that's their decision to make it standard or special. Like, depends on a lot of what's selling and all that kind of stuff. If you wanted to do that yourself, well, you know, it's going to cost you money. So if you wanted a standard but wanted the blacked out motor, guess what, it's like $900 worth of parts, plus I think whatever the primary cost. I think it's like $350, and the labor to swap that out. If you do it yourself, that's totally fine, but I suggest don't powder coat that stuff. Don't do it, because if for whatever reason, it might not even be the powder coater's fault. If something happens, if there's a leak or anything like that, and try to claim that ESP, that warranty, and they find out there's powder coated and not OEM parts, yep, you just voided your warranty, my friend. And I'm sorry to tell you, but that's just the way it is. Harley's not going to pay for something that they didn't do. So, but anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this review. If you have any comments or concerns or anything that we didn't cover on this, let me know. I'll make another video. I'll respond to your questions or whatever the case may be. So if you're on Facebook and you like this content, share it. Give a like to that page. Give a like to this video. If you're on Instagram TV, like it if you liked it, of course. And go ahead and follow me. Share it with your friends. Tag people in it. And of course, if you're on Facebook, you know the drill. Subscribe and give me that like as well. So, man, in the meantime, get on your Harley and get some wind therapy. Later.